In this eProtocol tutorial, we're going to look at how to create and submit an exemption application. So we've already signed in and we've changed our password. We've already seen how you can add study team personnel. And to create really any protocol, regardless of whether it's exempt or not, you're just going to go to this Create Protocol button, which is going to provide this initial page where you can add in the study title and then pick your form. So we're going to pick the exempt application, and the same basic layout is going to show as in the expedited form. And so we're just going to click on the create buttons, which are either at the top or at the bottom, and you'll see that right here in the left hand side it says that protocol 1281 has been created. So just like with the expedited application, you have to fill in a couple of extra pieces for you as the PI. You have to put in your city training, and then you have to add any investigators or study team personnel here. And then once you're done with that, you're just going to click next. And that's going to take you to some checklists before you get into the actual application. The main checklists are the subject and the general checklists, which you can access both access both from this side navigation bar here on the left. Now the checklists are important because if you don't check the appropriate boxes, the certain portions of the form will not be able to be edited. For example, if you want to enroll children under the age of 18, unless you check this box, you will not be able to access the assent form page, which allows you to kind of indicate how you're going to assent or enroll minors. And the same goes for the general checklist as well. You'll see when we get there that there are a couple of questions that are important to answer and check off if they apply to your study. So for our study, we're just going to indicate that healthy individuals are our subjects. And we're just going to kind of whiz through these next couple questions so we can get to the general checklist. And we're going to indicate here that PHI will be viewed, created, accessed, used, or disclosed. And basically, unless we check this, this portion of the form will become inactive. So actually, I'm going to uncheck that so you can see kind of what the form looks like if you don't check it. So if you do check that box, then the HIPAA portions of the form become active, and you can actually enter text into them. You can check the applicable boxes, etc. But as it stands now, you'll see when we get there that the page will be uneditable. Okay, and then funding. Most exempt studies don't require funding, so we're just going to click none. And then this is really the first page of the exemption application. It's really just picking the exempt category that your study falls into. So we're going to go through and pick exempt category number 2. And then from here on out, I'm just going to complete the exemption application. And when I'm done, I'll start recording again to show you some of the important things to know about the system. So this is actually the page that I was just referring to from the general checklist. This is the HIPAA portion of the application. And you can see we did not check that we were going to be collecting or looking at any kind of PHI. And so this portion of the form is inactive. You can see that you can't make any changes, you can't enter any text, etc. So if you get to this part of the form and let's say you were doing a retrospective chart review of medical records, and you get to this portion and you think, oh wow, I can't access that and I need to, more than likely it's because you didn't check off the appropriate things in either the subject or in the general checklists. So we're just going to come through here. There's in attachment sections as well, if you want to upload any flyers or information scripts or surveys, etc. that you'll be using. This would be the place where you would attach them. Now finally, this is one of the most important sections. This is the PI obligations, and really it's only the PI who has to check this off, but this has to be checked off before you can submit it to the IRB. And this just certifies that as the PI that you agree to take responsibility of the study. So we're going to check that, we're going to save, And then the button you'll see on the left hand side underneath the obligations section that's highlighted. This check for completeness button allows you to see if there are any sections of the protocol that you've left incomplete. So you can see for us here we've left 2 sections incomplete. So if you click on this link, it will take you to that exact portion of the study application. So it was question 2 for us. 2B right here we left blank. So we're just going to make those revisions. And then we're also going to check, there was one other area we forgot to fill in, the risk section, question 4. Okay. So we're going to save that, and then we check for completeness one more time. And it says that the IRB application form is now complete. It should be noted that the system won't allow you to submit an incomplete application. So even if you do try to submit the form without checking for completeness beforehand, it will still tell you, you need to fill out the following sections because you've missed questions or they've been filled out incompletely. So now that we've checked for completeness and it says that the application is ready to go, we're going to click on this Submit Form button. Before we do that though, I just want to show you what the print view function does in the application. So if you click on print view, it's going to bring up a pop-up screen that basically asks you how you'd like to view the protocol. And you can print this as well. So we're just going to ask for the protocol only, and you can actually choose which sections of the protocol you want to view. And you just click OK, and it's going to pop up as a PDF. You'll see. And this actually looks somewhat similar to our current applications. So if you need to print it or you want a hard copy, you can save this to your desktop and you just go to the print view section. So we're ready to submit. We're going to click on Submit Form. It's going to ask us if we would like to submit the protocol, and we just say yes. And this pop-up screen will disappear. Okay. And you'll see 1281 has now gone from yet to be submitted to submitted to the IRB. And then once it's approved, it will move from this section, Protocols in Preparation / Submitted, all the way down here to the Approved Protocol section. Okay, and that's how you submit and create an exemption application.